Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. Today we're going to talk about some deals. Some deals on equipment slash supplies. And right now I'm going to focus more on the knitting needles, but that doesn't mean Tunisian crochet can't get in the mix, right? If you have been in the market or you're just starting out with knitting, just like anything else, the tools are expensive. They are cost prohibitive, or they can be. It depends on what you go for. And I know people will talk about, oh wait, you want Choigu. That is one set I don't own. Not against it. I just don't own that one. I own a lot of sets. Knit Picks, Knitter's Pride, Knitter Pro. Wonderful needles. I use a lot of those. Addy needles. A lot of people will really say, hey, this is the set you want. The Likey needles. And they can range from, they can push 200, okay, for the set. They can easily push that. It really depends on which ones you're going for. And that is sticker shock. And you're like, well, wait a minute. I just need one needle to find out if I like it. I just want a couple needles or something. There's something to be said if you have a full interchangeable set. And a lot of the sets, like a lot of my the sets that I've gotten from Knit Picks, the Knitter's Pride needles, they'll go from a size 4 all the way up to sizes I don't use, like 14, 15s, I think. Yeah, some of them will go to 15s. I don't generally use those, but it's nice to have those around. A lot of the sets that I have will go up to a size 10. I don't use the larger needles that much, but I do like to have them because on the rare occasion, I know I've got them. It's easy. It's nice. That's the whole thing of having a set. Like I said, the cost is a big thing. Well, I had talked months ago, I was going to do a review on some of the needles I got on Amazon because I had just got a set for my daughter and my granddaughter. Actually, I'd already had the set that I gave to my daughter. It was one that I had previously bought for myself just to have extra needles on hand because if you've seen the Tackle It series, you know I leave a lot of needles in a lot of projects. So it's not a bad thing to have all these extra needles. And then I bought another set for my granddaughter. And going online, you can find some inexpensive, and I get that varies, but some inexpensive interchangeable sets. And you're like, are they any good? My experience from the 3 sets, I bought more than that I bought on Amazon, these no-name mystery brand type things, they worked quite well. I've previously bought a set for one of my friends who was knitting, and I bought myself one to have on hand, gave that to my daughter, bought another set for my granddaughter, just bought another set. Look, they're red. Look at these. You're going to want to check these out. I'll link that down below. I'm going to open that. I'll link down below what link it is. I don't have any affiliate links. I'm just letting you know because, hey, deals are deals. Let me pull that one up just so you can see it because it's exciting. At least in my world, it's exciting. All right, look at this. I just purchased, you can, look, you'll even see I just made 2 purchases from that. Look at that price. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Can you believe that? So even if you weren't necessarily like, I must have them, I must, that's one of the limited time deals. I go searching through Amazon and I will type in knitting and, today's deals, limited time deals. And then I type in the same thing for crochet. Good chunk of the time, your knitting and crocheting, if you type one or the other, they will both come up together. Like I'll get crochet books and knitting books, and I appreciate that, but I do both terms so I can get more options. And this is how I've come up with some of the kits that I've purchased and shown on here. Some of them that go on a really good deep discount sale. Like, yeah, love that. And this is why I have another set of needles. And you saw the price. Right now, $16.49, and they've been that way. I ordered my sets on the 2nd of June. There you go. And they're still that way right now. So hopefully they'll continue for another couple of days and you'll get an opportunity to purchase them if you're interested. I'm not telling you to buy anything. I'm just pointing out, just like I point out with the yarn, good deals that I find. And I bought this with my own money because I thought it was worth it. Here's the full set of needles. And I've got a size 2 needle. And what I do like, there's a lot of things I like about these. I haven't used these particular ones yet, but there's a lot of things I do like about them. These right here, they start off with the small one, the 3mm. This is your size 2 knitting needles, your 3mm. And they go up to that 10mm. And I'm not sure what size that 10mm is because I don't always remember by the size numbers. Oh, I think it's a 15. They go all the way up to that 15, size 15. So they've got all of that. And, you know, you're going to be able to deal with just about anything you want. The cables I found are very nice. Let me come out. I would like to grab a cable. I want to grab one. Okay. Right now, I think I'm murdering the cables as opposed, there we go. Got one. What I like about the cables, look at that. Look how easily you can bend that. It doesn't have that memory. Now, these cables are not interchangeable with my Knit Picks needles, my Knitter's Pride, my Knit Pro, my Likey. All of those are interchangeable with each other. But what I did notice when I got this for my my daughter and my granddaughter, the sets were interchangeable with each other. So this $16 set is interchangeable with a lot of the other sets, these no branded name sets online. So if you're wanting to get more cables and everything, the cables are great. I mean, those cables, look at that. That's not kinking. Those work out really, really nice. They feel like a good cable, more akin to, what is it? The Choigu cables. The Choigu cables are a proprietary cable also. That's one of the reasons why I don't have that set, is because I would have to get all new cables or a whole bunch more cables. And I like having all of my things, my Knitter's Pride, my Likey, all of those types of needles I can have, and they have interchangeable cables. When I gave this set to my daughter and my granddaughter, their cables interchange with each other because they both got a set. Let's see. Oh, that doesn't have, that one's not an interchangeable one, so that doesn't give me a, ooh. Wait, we have an interchangeable one here. I want to verify that what I'm saying is correct on that. So this right here, this is the Carbons needles, and Knitter's Pride Knit Pro has got the needle contract now, so it's all under one. So, you know, you're like, oh, when you buy them online, you're like, oh, they'll interchange. Nope. This is a smaller screw than what this one is. And that makes sense, and I'll go ahead and try it. That makes sense because your Knitter's Pride and your Knit Picks and all of those other things, yeah, that's way too big. It just slides on, right? No twisting. But it does make sense. The reason that this set only goes down to a size 4 is that screw right there is too large to be going down to a size 2. This is a smaller piece, smaller screw. That's what you need. So your interchangeable needles that talk about that and they go down to that lower level, they're more likely to be able to go for this. So that's kind of a nice one. I'll have to try and, yeah, my Mindful Knitting needles, they have more of a taper down to get to the 2s that works for that. So that is one thing for these. So you get the three sets of cords right there. I don't know where you would get extra ones if you wanted or needed them. I know they come in the other kits, but you know how I've been able to just purchase extra cables with the other stuff easily. I'm not sure what you would type in there is, you know, cables for a 3mm needle, something like that. I'm not positive. But if you want that starter set right now, this one, if you have Amazon Prime, you can get delivered to your door for under 20 bucks and for a full set. Perfect. So each set also comes with their own little knickknacks, tchotchkes, things like that. So I haven't opened this one, and I will show other needles too. I haven't opened this just to see all the stuff in it. And, you know, everyone likes fun things. All right, so what do we have? Okay, so this is nice. We have another needle. So we do have a 16-inch cable, another cable in there. So that's good. So I guess it's 4 cables, I guess. Some sewing needles. There you go. Some blunt sewing needles to sew our projects together, which is important. A pair of scissors, needle snips. Okay, that looks dangerous. I've seen those type before. Okay, I can open it. I have powers. I have skills. I need scissors. Okay, maybe. Open. I don't want to get hurt. Look at this. Okay, I'm pulling off all the pieces, but I still haven't gotten it open. Now that's funny. Cellophane. Alrighty. So let's see. Try not to hurt myself. Okay. All right. Keep out of the way of children. I'm telling you, kids will play with that and they'll hurt themselves. Okay, keep out of the way of me. I'll probably play with that and hurt myself. So I'm going to have to put that someplace else because grandkids do come in here and I don't want them playing with such devices because scissors are so much fun. All right. Needle gauge. Inexpensive needle gauge. Says knit on it. Nice. And you know, you can use these for your crochet hooks too. You can stick the head of your crochet hook all the way to the throat into one of those that tells you the millimeter size of your crochet hook. Especially with these fancy crochet hooks and everything that don't always have that information with them. What else do we have? I don't understand these. These are needle stoppers. They're fists, like a 5 fist, a 2 fist, and like this. So whatever. All right, that's weird. The safety pin stitch markers. I do use those. Like those. And then all the typical little tools. Let me pull these. I don't want to lose them. The typical little tools that you would get with a interchangeable set. They call this little thing a key. You put that in the knitting needle where the hole is, and then you can help to tighten, crank down your needle to the cable so it doesn't untighten while you're knitting. And then these cute little guys right here, those are extenders. So you can stick your cable on one side here, another one there, and now you've got the 2 cables essentially glued together, and you've got a longer cable if that's what you want to do. So it does come with a bunch of toys. It does come with a bunch of tools to make knitting life feel better. So that is a nice thing. Let me put all these things back in here so I don't lose them. And oh, did I screw any of these on just to show how that works? No, I didn't. That would have been nice, huh? Here, how about I do that? Oh, come out. I put the needle back. I want it back. I want it back. Well, they're definitely in there, little cables. All right. So this one's all red. I've seen these needles in multiple colors. My daughter's set was the multicolor gold, and that particular set, see how that's just, I'm screwing that on right here, and can't see, there we go, and just screwing that on. And you can see this little hole right here. That's where you would put that key in, and it would help you to get a better purchase and grip, so then you can tighten your needles down tighter. There you go. So this is another fun set. I like the feel of the needle too. This is an aluminum. I do like the feel of that. That does feel good. Again, haven't had a chance to use them. As you see, I just got them. All right, let me put this back. And I want to show you some of the other ones and how to find them on Amazon, because there are so many cool choices and colors, and I'm just going to leave that like that, and I'll put that back in a moment. See, I got my cable sticking out. The cables, there's a little plastic thing. It goes through here and then also through the downside and down that side over there to keep them nice and neat and all in place. All right. Let me see with this. I am curious. I do have the size 2s with this. These are not specialized. Let's see. Nope. Those don't work. All right. So there's that one. It's one of my other sets. This is one of them by the Knitter's Pride Knit Pro, the Mindful set that also starts with a 2. But these particular cables are interchangeable with my other sets, which is nice. That set isn't. All right, so looking on Amazon, because yeah, don't look on Amazon if you don't want to find things. I'm just going to throw that out there. Don't go searching like I do if you don't actually want to find stuff, because that's what I was doing, and then I found things. Yeah, I found things. So as we can see, I've just recently purchased 2 sets of this right there, and that price is amazing, and that's why limited time deal, $16.49 for a full 13 needle size set of interchangeable needles. Even if they're not your favorite needles, you know, you get them, your needle snob, I get that, you know, your needle snob and everything, you can do like it was suggested to me. Brilliant, never thought of it. When you go to lay lay something down, put the set on there. Just leave them there. Put this set. It's inexpensive, and take your favorite ones back, right? But there's a lot of different things that you can do along that line. So that's the one set. And let's see, this is the one I got for, and it's still available. This is the Rudy's Interchangeable. They all have different names. That's the one that I ended up giving to my granddaughter. And it's the longer tips, that 4-inch tips. And you can see it has different toys in it. The needle gauge is longer. It has a little fabric grip to help you to crank things down. All the little toys that are in it are different depending on the brand. So that one I got for my granddaughter. And the set that was given to my daughter, it's no longer available. But that's right now today, $29.99. You can get it before Father's Day. I don't know, they're putting that on everything right now. Okay, and let's see. I did purchase, and then looking at them too, you can see going back and forth, different sets that they have. This is the set by Rudy's also that's no longer available that I sent to one of my friends. And that one having the bamboo, she did end up having to re-glue some of them because bamboo shrinks, and there you go. So she did end up gluing some. Loves the set though, it works quite well for her. Okay, that's cool. And like everything with Amazon, bounce from each individual one. Sometimes the prices are you kidding me? Other times they're like, wow, that's fantastic. Like the gold set that I ended up giving to my daughter, that one right now is saying, hey, if you really, really want it, it is like $74, but it's no longer available. I didn't pay $74. I can tell you that right now. I did not. But Amazon does, we know this, it does that weird thing. You know, if it goes really high, then just go pick a different one. And let's see. There's a couple other ones that I thought were interesting. I don't have this one. To me, it intrigues me is a good way to put it. It's the 9 different sizes of needle tips, and you've got 3 sizes per needle tip. Okay, here, let me show you. Look at that. So there's 3 different tips in various lengths for every size, but you're not getting 2 of any one size. So what you would have is your size 4 needles. On one end of your knitting needle would be a tip this big, and on the other end it would be that big, or the largest one. That's the whole concept. Maybe it's for ergonomically, you know, when you're holding different things for your needles, maybe you want a shorter tip for one side. I've seen other sets that do that. They have 1 long tip and 1 short tip. This one's 3 of them. And, you know, it's interesting because I read the comments. Somebody, it's like, I don't have 2 needle tips of any one size. This whole set is stupid. That's how this set is literally designed. I'm not sure why. I have seen it in other things. It's intrigued me and I've thought about purchasing it, but I'm not curious enough to spend $50 on the set. Just, you know, is it worth it? Maybe. Is it worth it to me? Not today. But they're pretty. And, you know, there is that. They are pretty, and it goes from, any, you know, 3 to 6 millimeter, and you've got 3 different lengths for each one. Okay. A lot of my knitting needles, I use the shorter lengths. These to me are longer. I like the shorter tips better. Let's see. All right. Here we go. We've got this on my, all right. So we can see from tip to tip, right? Yeah. You can see that red is significantly longer if you were to screw them both in than this one. I generally use the shorter, about 4 or 5 inches. This is longer than that. It's just preference. There's nothing wrong with them either way. It's just what I personally prefer. So I will use those, but I'm going to go to my shorter ones more often. That's my preference. Now, I did find there are some on here that do have the shorts. I like Choigu. The Choigu sets have the really shorties, the 2 and 3 inch tips. Their sets are like $100, and they also have proprietary needles. Well, this one's going to have the same proprietary cables. This one's going to have the same cables that I just showed. And look at this. You can go 2 inch or 3 inch tips on those. The full set is $40. $40. And you've got the 2-inch, or look at him holding it. So you've got either the 2-inch or the 3-inch. I have never seen that. So I think that's really interesting for those of us that like the shorter tips. And you're like, well, what's the advantage of the shorter tips? I don't get it. When you have that shorter tip, you can make a true 16-inch cable, and it makes it easier to knit in the round and make hats. That's the reason right there. You can make big things with the shorter tips, right? You know, you use longer needles, and you can go all the way down to the smaller ones. But if you have this size needle and you just put, okay, well, I'll just put a really short cable on it. Well, then the needle itself, you don't have enough room to knit with it, because the needles themselves are too long for that cable, that little bit of a cable. You really can't knit. You just can't. So that's one of the reasons why the short tips, you can do it all. The longer, maybe not. But it's also a comfort level. I have a friend of mine who has smaller hands. I mean, like really tiny hands, and prefers, even on the double points, prefers the shorter tips, because where they hit on the hand and the palm of the hand better. So this would be a perfect set. And you can either do the 2 or 3 inch, the 5 centimeter or 8 centimeter little knitting needle tips for $40, having that full interchangeable set. Or like I said, Choigu has, and Choigu is a great brand. They are. That's what I use for my double pointed needles. You can go ahead and do the 100 plus for the shorties, and those sets are beautiful. You can easily, you know, they're like in a little case that's not even that big, and just, you know, barely fatter than a credit card. I mean, it is so tiny. You can easily fit in your pocketbook. No big deal. Always have your needles with you. Just saying. I mean, that's a thing. That is a thing. So I just wanted to show some of those deal alerts on that, and then showing specifically that, as you can see, I have purchased them, because you've got that right above that it says that. And then other fun things, go looking. If you do go looking for 1 or 2 sets of the needles, you can end up, and you can see I've looked at a lot, right? Look at that. So you got the colored set, you got the one that's I had sent to my friend. You know, look at all those different things. You've got the beautiful blue, you've got that pinky purple, they've got gold ones. There's just, what color are you interested in? What things really tickle your fancy? And go look for those. And that to me is a lot of fun. And that's part of the reason why I have excess needles, because, well, you know, they were pretty, right? They're pretty. There was another set that was aluminum needles like this, and I didn't get those because of the not because of the aluminum. I like that, but they were like a painted on, and a floral pattern that was painted on that just chipped off really easy, and people were showing that. I thought the needles were beautiful, but I'd like to have them more than, you know, knitting one thing and then have all of the stuff chip off. So those were no go. But these that I've shown, love them. Absolutely, for what they are. Extra set of needles. If you're looking at getting into this, you want to play with knitting, you're not really sure, you don't want to invest a fortune, go that route. And like I was saying, you can also look at these. They have them in the Tunisian hooks too. So you can look at the same stuff and all the different types of Tunisian hooks and all the different price ranges of Tunisian hooks. So if that's your thing, you can also do that and try to get an inexpensive set just to see if you like it. And if you don't, you've not spent a lot of money. If you do, and you like your tools, you're set. And if you want better tools, then you can give yourself time to determine what the better tool is and then work with it. Because truthfully, I have a lot of knitting needles, and I use a lot of knitting needles, a lot of different brands. The best one is the one that I'm working with at the time, right? You know, I do gravitate towards my favorites, but in a pinch, and if that's the only one I can find with that size, that's the one that I'm going to use. And I do that with all the stuff, and it just makes my life so much more fun. It just does. It's, you know, what is it? The variety is the spice of life. You know, we're like, I want to play. I want different things. I want fun toys. I want fun tools. That's what we're dealing with. Let's see. And then you can also, one of the other things that you can do is, if you've bought something like right there, you can click that link. Okay, there's a link right here. visiting that particular store, because these are off-brand names, right? I've never heard of these types of things. And then you can see what other things are they selling. Do they have the knitting needles in a different brand? Do they have the knitting needles that I want in a different color that maybe don't cost as much? Maybe there's something that's really pretty. You definitely have to have them, and you wouldn't have known unless you clicked on that. I also do that same search for kits. I'll look through crochet kits and knitting kits to see what's fun and exciting. I love the idea of the different crochet kits and the knitting kits, and I tend to buy more of the crochet ones. But I love the idea of that. But I also look to see what's my value for money. So I definitely want to get the cheapest bargain basement one, right? But the value for money, because if it's a little project that's this big, we know I've got plenty of yarn, so that's not the issue. But how much yarn's involved with it? What's the pattern? Is it just like, if it's an amigurumi, it's just the head, that's not going to work for me, right? You know, this is a cute little guy, right? But if it's just that little bit, I'm like, I don't want to spend $10, $15 on this. No, right? So I do go through and I look at all of those things because that's my relaxation time. This is what I enjoy doing. And those are the weeks you can tell I've done that, because those are the weeks I don't get much done, right? Because I'm down the rabbit hole looking at all the fun stuff and not actually crafting, right? Like, that's not a craft, by the way. Yes, it is. Prove me wrong. So that's where I'm at with all of that. Hopefully this has helped out some, given you some different tools. I'll link those needle sets that I've purchased down below. I'm not affiliated. I don't get any kickbacks for showing you, but a deal's a deal, right? And if those red ones in the morning, because this one, this is going up, is in the morning, if those are still on sale, if you're interested, I'd jump on it. If you're not, no harm, no foul. But for $16.50, getting a full 13 size needle set from size 2 to, what is it, size 15, you can't beat it. All right, everybody, with that, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be, and I will talk to you again later. Bye-bye.